Hey guys, it's your boy Jermaine True coming back to you with another video, man, about how to release, remove, eradicate, and destroy stress. Like I said before, you tuned in with the best, so let's get it. Listen, I gave you a few tools already on what to use in order for you to overcome stress, right? But hey, this one right here, I think is pretty cool, man. This one, it's fun for most. Some people gonna be like, hell to the no. I won't do that. Won't do that. But listen, this right here, it's not for everyone, but this is a good one. This is I personally like this one because there's so many different ways to do it. And I feel like if you really wanted to try it, you can find your own little way to actually enjoy it. All right. But I won't have you wait on this one. Right. I'm just gonna jump right up into it, and we're gonna work through it together. All right. So listen, big way that you can relieve some stress is to go outside and bond with nature. I know there's some places where you really feel like you might not be able to, like places where it's cold right now. It's a little more difficult for you to bond with nature because unless you want a slope, most people are really cussing nature out right now, saying, listen man, you're a little bit too cold for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and stay up in the house or stay in somewhere warm, but really getting in tune with nature, man. I listen, the magical effects that it has on you have been studied, and it's so amazing for what it does for the psyche. And some people, what's the phrase they use? It's sometimes you just need to touch earth, right? Touch ground. Just bond. Let's just, hey man, when it's warmer out, okay, when it's warmer out, you can definitely just have your feet touch the ground. But there are countries where people just still bond with nature when it's freezing cold out. They're taking ice baths, they're going outside, swimming in the cold and doing all of that. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not doing that. Okay, first and foremost, foremost and first, I'm not doing that. But there's huge benefits to it, man. Huge. In the back right here, what you have going on the projector is hunting. Listen, listen to me. Okay, listen to me. Hunting, man, listen, there's so much fun in hunting. Hey, I'll be the first to admit, okay? I'm gonna admit something. I probably shouldn't. Okay? I probably shouldn't. Makes me look bad, but hey, I'm very inexperienced with hunting, okay? I've never successfully hit anything out there. Well, not a moving target, right? I mean, you do your thing, you have your little fun, you put your cans up. I can hit a can. I can hit a can, okay? It's no problem for me hitting a can, but when you're talking about a moving target out there in the woods, listen, man, it becomes super difficult. It's not something that I take seriously or serious enough for me to go get the proper gear and all that good stuff. Because for me, I'm not looking for the trophy, right? I'm looking for the being in nature. And instead of just walking around aimlessly, you kind of have something specific to do. You're looking for something. And there's several times where I have purposely missed. But of course, that's me saying I purposely missed. I mean, there's a good chance I would have missed. I would have missed anyways if I was trying to hit the target, man. But just being out there, sometimes with bonding with the guys, man, having some fun. It's pretty damn cool. It's pretty damn cool. But right here, what you have, some hunting dogs. And this I've never done, but this right here, from what I've heard from a lot of people, going hunting, for the people who are super experienced and they do bring their dogs with them, they help you to find a lot, man. They help you to find a ton. Okay, all right. They help you to find all types of targets, man. They're pretty cool. I'm gonna age myself a little bit. There's a lot of people who really don't remember this game at all. But listen, man, Duck Hunt for Nintendo. Yo, if you know Duck Hunt for Nintendo, man, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, Duck Hunt was it. It was it. It was peak gaming, man. You know what I mean? It was peak gaming. And you had your moments when you would miss, and there's a little dog that would come up in the bushes and laugh at you, man. Listen, hey, listen. That was my first experience trying to hunt, man. It was Duck Hunt for Nintendo. That game was top tier fun, man. But hey, going outdoors and trying to find something to do to bond with nature, man, you need that. That's a huge stress reliever. When you can go outside and not have to attach spending money to it, it gives you a little bit of freedom in your chest, right? Where it's just like, hey, oh my gosh, I gotta put up every time I go outside, it's $100, right? Every time I go outside, it's $300. If you can really just, hey, grab some ice water, find a trail nearby in your town, or if you're lucky enough to have one of those hiking trails where there's like maybe a castle or whatever at the top, then you do something like that. That right there is pretty fun, man. If you can go hiking, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. There's a lot of easy trails in a lot of towns where you're able to take the entire family. There's the people pushing strollers, right? Sometimes the trails are that easy where you can take the entire family down to the baby, push the stroller, and go. It's not necessarily always the daredevil rock climbing portion of hiking, which, hey, that's fun too. Real talk, that's fun too. Sometimes you want to take a more challenging course, and you go at it, and the feeling you get when you reach the top, sorry, let me step it up. When you reach the pinnacle, okay, when you reach the pinnacle of what you're doing, it feels great, man. You absolutely just burst with excitement just knowing that you achieved that. But yeah, there's so many different ways you can bond with nature, man. There's the camping. There's a lot of people who go camping, and that's what they do. It's really just I don't want to say going completely off the grid, as it's a little difficult sometimes to do that. But if you go camping, you set up the tent, you hang out. I'll say what. Some people, I tell you what, start in your yard, man. You can set up a tent outside in your yard if it's possible. If you're in one of them, areas where you're able to do that, set up a tent. Start there in your backyard, and it gives you a different feel. It puts you outside. It puts you with nature. And if you do it in your backyard, it puts you with safety, right? You kind of know what to expect in your backyard. At least, I hope you would. If you're able to do that, that's a good way to start. Or camping, absolutely loads of fun. I'm not gonna do it in this video, but there's huge benefits to camping if you can do that. We'll run some videos on that in the near future. But yes, camping, huge, beautiful way to bond with family and go outside. Hiking, which we touched on. This is a huge one. This right here is a huge one. I haven't really done it seriously, because this method right here, or this way to bond with nature outside, it's tougher. There's a more fun version. When you hear what I say, there's a more fun version that people typically go with, but I feel like it can go either way. If you get past the first hour, I can see you zone in, but after that, I think it's fun after that. But to get there, man, listen, it's rough, because I've tried it for an hour and it was a difficult time, I'll be honest. But the difficulty behind it didn't take away from me relieving stress. It was really just, it put my brain in a different mode, and it didn't even allow me to think, to be honest with you. It's cycling. Cycling is absolutely difficult, but it's so simple, right? It's not easy. It's simple. You get on your bike and you pedal. You pedal. And going through it, you can talk to a lot of experts, man, because it's not easy. And they'll tell you different strategies that they use, the ways to stop, what you need to eat, what you need to drink. Like, all those things go into cycling, man. But if you get into it, you buy the proper bike and the gear, and you can get comfortable, and you know, you get a group. That's usually when it's it's the best and more fun. It's when you have a group cycling. That right there, it's a good challenge. You absolutely get to blend with nature, because if you ride far enough, you kind of there's usually like bike trails that are drawn out. But you really get to learn your city. You get to learn a lot, man. Some people ride 3 to 4 hours straight on cycles, and I'm outside of a race. I'm saying this is just for fun and and exercise, of course. But the more fun version of cycling, of course, would be hitting that motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm sure. Whatever, you get what I'm saying, man. I don't know what I was trying to do. Whatever. Listen, get on a motorcycle. Seems absolutely fun. Now, full transparency, I personally have not ridden a motorcycle, at least not successfully. Right? It is something that I will be learning very soon. I am probably not going to get a crotch rocket as amazing as they are, but I think you remove the temptation of speeding by getting a motorcycle that's a whole lot more built for cruise, right? So I'm looking forward to that in the very, very near future. Once it heats back up. It's something that I think I want to get my license for that. I don't know yet if riding out is the enjoyment, but I promise you, I have never spoken to a motorcycle rider that has told me that no, it's not fun, man, this is not the way to go. I have literally never heard any one of them say that. I've been a part of several bike crews as the only person who drive a car, right? And that's because my car was modded. And hey, man, it was cool driving along with those riders, only because I always had extra stuff that they could store, and they don't have to worry about throwing it on the bike, man. But hey, man, I've done several trips with bikers, man. They've done from Connecticut to Canada, man, on motorcycling, and that trip is always a fun time. And I never minded being the car guy, bringing the extra stuff, but absolutely 100% motorcycle riders, my hat's off to you guys. I hope to get a license in that soon and become a part of that. Anyway, hey, listen, I could jump into going into nature, and I will. We'll go back in depth in it. But for right now, I kind of just want to give you these tools as quickly as I can before we jump in depth with different ways to that we can use them and amplify them, right? But for right now, I just want to give you this tool where it's like, hey, go outside, blend with nature if you can, the best way you can. Give it a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot. And when you're outside blending with nature, my suggestion is you put the devices down. There's some people who are looking at sunsets and stuff like that, but they have put like the phone on a tripod, and recording that way, so that way they can also get the full experience of it in person, and they're videotaping on off to the side, but they're not focusing on the videotaping, so that afterwards they can look at it and say, you know, it brings back the memory, but but they also want to be a part of the moment. So I would say try your best to not have the devices, and you're not giving it. You don't have to give this hours upon hours, man. Sometimes you really could just, if you have access to grass outside, you really could just go outside, take your shoes off, sit down in the grass, 10 to 15 minutes, and clear your mind, or lay back on the grass and clear your head. For sure, some people like to go lay in the rain outside. That's something that people do a lot, jumping in mud puddles. Listen, yeah, I know some of these things are dirty, but I mean, if you've ever ridden a ATV in the mud, or you know, drive your modded truck through mud or anything like that, then the dirt really ain't nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? I know I enjoy it when I hang out with my friends and we do stuff like that. So it's been a while. Probably got to hop back on stuff like that, you know. But listen, I've given you enough for right now. Go outside, enjoy nature the best way you can. For the people with allergies, hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You do what you can. You do what you can, man. You do what you can, but try to get some time outside with nature. All right, listen, it's been a pleasure. Like, subscribe. Like I said, we're just building a community here of relieving stress. It's difficult, you know. It's something that we work through together. And my promise to you is that if we continue to work together, at the end of this, at the end of what we're building here, 100% for sure, you will be more prosperous. I can promise that. I shouldn't make promises, but I do. And that's one promise I'm going to make to you. All right? Catch you guys in the next one.